There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious fermenting it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.
Never, ever, ever.
Never, ever, ever, baby.
Simply keep on non-existing.
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
This is great.
Yes, it is.
What was that about the X something?
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
I want to plunge back into the fathomless deep.
There. No ball of meat. No light in the formless nothing. Just night swimming.
I like nothing.
I know you do, baby. I know.
How about you cough up some more of that sweet oblivion?
Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Nothing town to fuck all borough.
Look, I am tired of being this type of animal, and who gives a shit?
Not you. Your days of giving a shit and being that type of animal are over.
Oh, don't stop. Keep singing. Sing me the song of death.
The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
You can take it. You're a champion.
Stop. I don't want to hear about anything more about this sensation. Just take me back to the formless, disembodied nothing.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache.
Who am I? What sort of creature does this to their own mouth?
A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
I'll open my eyes. Oh God, where am I? Why do I have no clothes on and my head hurts like hell? Okay. That's what of it. Some clothes. I need some clothes. Trousers. I will take those.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants.
Okay, I'll fish them out.
It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Okay. Now more clothes. What's this? A jacket? Okay, I'll take it. What else do I have? There must be a shirt somewhere. Okay. Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have sent a poet. You see bottles in the bathtub. Wine, beer, and sweet liqueurs. Okay, what have we got? There's a what's this? Is this a shirt? Yes, I will take the shirt. Now I'm fully dressed. Okay. Bathroom door is stuck. The mirror. Do I even want to look?
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
Really? Nothing?
Really? All recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions.
But really, there's absolutely nothing.
Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in
Yes, you've said
has drowned
that.
in a
You've
sea of
said
blood
that.
alcohol.
I wipe the mirror.
This as you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Maybe I should touch it first. Make sure there's nothing wrong with my face.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
What? What's wrong?
Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin.
That explains how bad I feel. At least my tongue is okay.
It's not.
Oh,
It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
okay. I'm sorry. What about when I touch my nose?
Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either.
Huh.
Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you.
I think I'm scared. I want to stop doing this.
Don't be scared. It's only your face. It's not like anyone's going to see it.
No, I'm leaving. No, I don't even want to see how bad I am. I'm out of here. Okay. Oh, God. Let's see what else. Where the hell am I? What have we got in here? What is this? Okay, an empty cassette case. I'll take it in case it's mine. And this reel-to-reel tape player is still on, rolling empty. Looks like someone tore out the tape while the song was playing. Okay. What's going on with the fan? What's that hanging from it?
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades.
Okay.
Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck.
Okay.
So that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Okay. I'll pull on the fan. Maybe if I stop it first, it might be easier to grab.
The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now.
Okay, I'll grab the tie.
You reach out to grab the tie. But what's this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain. Doom comes over you.
Whoa, grab my chest.
This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest and keeping you from moving.
I don't like this.
For quite a long time.
I like it even less.
Still ongoing. Now is a good time to start worrying.
Yeah, I'm worrying.
Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move, hoping it will keep you from dying.
Okay, I think I'll just leave then. It looks like a shoe. I think I need some shoes. Okay. And the window. What's going on with the window?
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Okay, assess the damage.
What do you mean, assess the damage? How would you do that? What are you even trying to do?
Oh, I don't know. I'll just look out the window then.
The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings.
Okay. I need to get some air. I think a trip to the balcony. Is there a door? There's a door. Does this go out? Out to the balcony. Oh, it's bright out here. Oh god, those lights. Okay. There's my shoe. Ah. Very, very good. What do I have? My jacket. A shirt. I have pants on. And I have some shoes, which make me feel more composed. Okay. And this tape. Okay. I don't remember anything. I have no idea who I am or what I am doing. A gust of briny wind washes over me. Okay.
There they both are. Two identical shoes. Both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. Reunited on your feet.
Okay, how do they fit?
Good. They're balanced. Comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Yeah, well, that's not really difficult. Okay. That's, the smell of the sea's making me dizzy. Okay. What do we have? Let's have a look around. Something on the table. Okay, what? Oh. Someone's left some money. I don't think I have any money. I'm gonna take it. Okay. Let's have a look at this calendar. Calendar says it's March. The year is 51. What 51, though?
Hello, officer.
Officer?
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
Officer? Am I military personnel?
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Okay, wait, I know. I'm a businessman. Chief Executive Officer, right?
The young woman shakes her head slowly.
Okay, Chief Technical Officer.
No. You're a police officer, sir.
You're shitting me.
I'm not. Unless you've been shitting us all this time.
What do you mean all this time?
You've been here for 3 days.
3 days?
On official police business, no less.
Okay, what business is that?
Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Who in their right mind would let me be an officer of the law?
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
Oh, thanks. That helps me.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
I'd better let it go. My head hurts. I'm not saying anything.
Retreat is not a winning tactic.
No, why don't I remember being a cop? Or anything else?
Could it be because of the drinking?
She raises an eyebrow. The cigarette sizzles.
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I should try this expression. What is this voice in my head? I don't understand.
Try the expression. Come on, why are you still doing this?
I'm at death's door, bloated, a goner, and still... Does the longing ever stop?
Alcohol raises testosterone levels, especially in men. The levels remain elevated after inebriation ends and the pain begins. You seek comfort. It's only natural.
She puts out her cigarette. Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you said the words 1,000,000 times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Excuse me, before you go, I have some questions for you.
Yes?
What is this place? Where am I?
You're in a hostel, sir.
No, where are we? Where in the world?
We are in Revachol.
Should that mean something to me?
You sure look like you're from Revachol. Revachol parties.
Look, your room is almost next to mine. Did you hear anything last night?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Did I have any visitors?
I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here.
She nods toward room 3. Loud disco music.
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them.
She raises an eyebrow, waiting for the name to connect with you. No, it's not doing it.
Oh, we're huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
It mostly just gets hard, doesn't it?
It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace.
Oh, what happened?
A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it.
Was I singing this? And I show her the case of the smallest church in Sans.
Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also...
Yeah, and also what?
That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me.
And then what happened?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
Are you sure I wasn't being assaulted?
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Please tell me there wasn't anything else.
There was.
Oh.
I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable.
Okay.
I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it.
Okay, just another question. Just tell me, is it 51 now?
It's 51.
Yeah, what century?
The current century?
Yeah. And that's what? What number?
Centuries don't have numbers. They have names. And this is the current one.
Yeah, but how many centuries have there been then?
Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir.
What are you grinning at? What's so funny?
You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization.
Okay, you can go now.
Glad to have been of assistance.
Well, thank you. Okay. Looks like she left a nice long stub in the ashtray and it's still smoking. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. This is the weekend edition of the satirical newspaper Trompe Le Monde. Okay, nothing else here by the looks of it. Will she talk to me again? Do I have any more questions?
The door is closed.
I'll knock.
There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. Somewhere inside, a tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you.
Why are you doing this? Don't do this to me.
The door is mute and indifferent. Your despair is a joke to it.
No. I'd leave it alone. Okay. Let's go downstairs. Oh my god. What is this place? What have we got? This is where the lyrics would be. A big old karaoke mic just waiting for someone to sing into it. And what's this? Speakers connected to the radio. The music is seasoned with static. Let's talk to the barman.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Excuse me, are you the bartender?
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
What's the difference?
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in.
Where did this Sylvie go?
She just, you know.
There's something there,
No.
and it's not good. That's all you know for now.
Have I done something wrong? Something tells me you don't like me.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Yeah. You're being sarcastic.
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room?
I'm guessing that I didn't do any of those things.
You're right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to.
It might sound a bit weird, but what have I been doing all that time? Have you seen me around?
No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
He looks down again and keeps plucking at the bird. What is the bird?
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. A small engraved steel tag says, "The Great Skua, Stair Koari's Skua." Something about it makes you feel bitter.
What happened to the bird?
Look, your buddy is over there.
My buddy. He looks at the door where a man in his bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor.
Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
What do you mean, my buddy?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
Okay, let's leave. He really doesn't like me. What have we got over here? The menu has been wiped clean. Only the word Monday is written on it. Oh, what's this? That looks like I could use that. I'm going to take it. Water cooler. A large bubble is rising to the surface. Soft purr of an electric juicer comes from the kitchen. Someone is working. Let's check out. Door is bolted. A sign reads, kitchen reserved for personnel until 1 o'clock. What about this? Inside, you catch a glimpse of Union paraphernalia, a strike poster, some red pennants. A sign reads, mess hall reserved for Union members. Doors open 4 o'clock. Okay, is this the guy with the bomber jacket he was talking about? I suppose I'd better go talk to him.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You.
Me?
As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this. But why?
Yeah, why?
On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Really? Hold on a minute. Who is this guy to me?
He is your half-brother.
What? I'll shake his hand.
Hello. I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he is waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
I can't tell him I don't have a name. He'll just think I'm a weirdo. I need to try and make something up.
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
Yeah, you're kidding me, right? That's the best you can come up with. Yeah, I can't. My head hurts. I can't think of much else. Yeah, my name is Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
Yes, well.
He doesn't even process what I've just said. He's just carrying on. Okay.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually.
Okay.
Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
You mean him? Yeah, I just talked to him.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right?
What scene?
It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
Yeah, again, what interviews?
At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice.
No, I haven't.
Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case.
Okay.
Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
Dead body?
Mm-hmm.
It's... No.
So, the body is still in the tree.
Well...
This is the first time you
guess
detect
so.
a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
What is going on?
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight.
Whoa.
We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
Just a question. How can you be so sure I'm from the police?
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the citizens' militia on your sleeve and on your back.
Okay, he's pointing to it on my jacket. That must be what those mean.
I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General.
You said insignia. These white rectangles, you mean?
Yes.
But they're just white rectangles.
They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters
Oh.
RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West.
Oh, very clever.
I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job.
Yeah, but look, if I'm a police officer, shouldn't I have a badge or something? I don't think I've got anything in my pockets.
You mean you don't have a badge?
Well, Oh God, this guy's gonna think I'm an idiot. Look, it wasn't on me when I woke up.
Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Yeah, look, I don't know what happened, but I can't remember anything.
I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse.
Worse?
If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
Okay, this is all happening a bit quickly. What are we supposed to do again?
Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down.
Okay, let's just run with this. And, yeah, let's just run with it. This guy seems fairly solid, and right now I have no idea where I am or even who I am. So, okay, let's go.
After you, officer.
Okay. Let's go speak to this barman again, who does not like me.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Gart, right?
Lieutenant.
You run this place.
He glances into his little notebook. Lieutenant likes to write things down, it would appear.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
As I said, yeah, Detective Raphael Ambrosius Costo.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Okay, looks behind a pile of coasters, finds a slip of paper and hands it to the lieutenant.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective.
Who, me?
Yes, Detective Cousteau. I have everything. You?
You mean do I have questions?
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would?
Okay, cafeteria manager's clearly agitated again. Okay, so just where exactly is the body?
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there.
Okay, and how do we get there then?
That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Okay, big hole.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
What? How would I make a big hole in a fence? So just, do you know who killed him?
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job.
Okay, I can't ask him if he killed him. That's a bit of an accusation without any evidence. And I don't remember being a police officer, but I'm fairly certain if you're going to accuse someone of killing someone, then you should have some evidence. I have another question.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
Why exactly did Sylvie go away?
She went away because none of your business.
Okay, look, this is the second time you've avoided the subject.
Oh my God, what is your obsession with this Sylvie person? Get over it.
This Sylvie person, doesn't she work for you?
Maybe it's he who's obsessed with this Sylvie person.
Yeah.
Certainly sounds like it.
He does sound a bit edgy. Okay, that's all.
Let's go.
Okay.
Not so fast. You
Oh.
owe me 130 real.
I'm sorry, what's Real?
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
He pronounces the R with a mock aristocratic accent.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Oh, right. Oh, I understand. You mean I owe you money?
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right, money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
Okay, he's pointing to the red ledger on the counter for some reason. But what do I owe this place for?
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol.
That's very kind of you.
That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money.
Yeah, okay, I understand that Real is money, but what exactly is money?
What are you, a philosopher?
Look, just since I woke up, I have trouble remembering even the most basic concepts of reality.
Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
Okay, just... Is this money?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll give him those. That's 10 plus 10 plus 20 equals 40. I'm down to 90, right?
No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real.
100 times smaller, you say?
Yes,
But that's horrible.
it is.
Oh. He stands silently looking at the coppers on the counter. Okay.
For a moment, his antipathy is overcome by compassion for the sheer smallness of the money.
Yeah, I have the same compassion. I might as well pick the coins up just in case it's all I have.
He demonstratively suppresses a world-weary sigh.
Okay, so what happens now?
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
What's he shrugging for?
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
Yeah, look, I don't remember where my home is.
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for assistance. We have to get this investigation started now.
Okay.
Good luck.
The man wants to say something and then thinks better of it. Okay. Right, what's going on?
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
Yeah, I think my soul's cubic content is obscured by the hangover.
Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside. It needs to be heard.
Really?
Through a PA system.
Really?
By other people.
Yeah, but what should I sing when it comes to it?
You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I could sing something happy, like from those ostentatious orchestrations folks.
No. Don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing the sad song. It's profound.
Okay.
You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed.
Okay.
By the way, Where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
Yeah, but I really don't remember.
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Far away?
In time or space?
Both, I think.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Look, could I trace the way back somehow? To the exact street? The exact number on a building?
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Okay, I need to have a think about this. Yeah. I'll do that. I'll try and spend some time thinking about that. Okay. What do I need to do? According to... I don't know who I am. The voice in my head doesn't even sound like me. I don't know if that's just the alcohol or what's going on. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it makes stupid ideas. That could be me. Okay, so things I need to do. I need to find a sufficiently tragic tape, then play it on a boombox to memorize the lyrics. Then ask the cafeteria manager to perform, preferably in the evening. More people at the bar then. Okay, let's look out for a tape. I also need to pay for these damages. Or I won't have a place to stay. I could ask around for money. Be careful with my spending. Okay. I could ask the station. Yes. And I need to find out who made the call reporting the crime. So I could try calling Sylvie using Kim's shortwave. Yep, we can do that. And yeah, I need to go and inspect a dead body in the backyard of this place. Right. Preliminary inspection. I just need to suppress the urge to throw up and approach it. And yeah, I have to report my badge missing. This has been a weird day so far. Okay. Right, Kim, I suppose we should get a move on. Where's the door? Here it is. Let's go and check out this body. Great, it's raining. That's all we need. Let's speak to this woman and see if she knows anything.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound surprised.
We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
Okay, I have some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Who are you exactly?
Me? I am just a gardener.
Oh, good to meet you, just a gardener. Another question then.
I am pleased to meet you too, officer.
Actually, yeah, directions.
Of course. Where to?
Okay, just take this at face value, but where am I?
What do you mean?
I'm just a bit disoriented. That's all. This is Revershaw, right?
Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
Okay.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
Okay. And just while you're here, and you're being very helpful, I must say, what's up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
Okay, and just go with me on this. And the east?
The harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too.
Okay, and the south?
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
Oh, what's on the other side of the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
Okay. And last question, and what about in the west?
It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You've been most helpful. That's all for now.
No problem.
Okay,
Of course.
have to run.
I won't hold you back.
She wipes her brow with the canary yellow glove.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them.
Really?
You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Oh, good thinking, yeah. One more thing. Could I borrow your gloves?
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Oh, thank you. You're very lovely. Okay. Right, let's head back to the yard. What's this? There are bottles inside. You could pick them up if you had a bag. I don't have a bag. What's this? Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 8B. What have we got here?
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Oh, interesting. Good to know. Old call box with matrix of push buttons. Okay. Taxi. I don't know what most of these are. Could be useful. Well, could be useful later on. Okay. I'll leave. Right, this must be the big hole in the fence he was talking about.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Yeah, why am I looking at this exactly?
Cop habit. You look at everything.
Yeah, that's probably right.
This isn't case related, you think.
Okay, it's not case related. Well, what kind of vehicle drove through here?
Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover.
I need to find a shop where I can... Well, I don't have any money, do I? So I can't even buy any tablets. Okay. Let's see what we've got in the yard. Footprints.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Can I tell exactly how many?
What do you think you are?
Ooh.
A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
No need to be so nasty about it all. What kind of boots?
Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard.
Okay.
Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boots track. Workers' boot tracks.
Noted.
Okay. That's all you're going to say? Okay, what's this? The kid's ladder is rickety, but still climbable. The ladder's for kids. It wouldn't hold the weight of a grown man, though. Okay. I suppose we should check out the body.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth.
Lieutenant, this is gross.
You seem to be holding your breath.
Okay, I need to look down.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through your clenched nostrils.
God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
Ugh.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
Okay, let's see if I can let go of my nose without throwing up.
The smell is repulsive.
Ugh.
It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
I think I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna puke. Ugh. Ugh.
You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes it out. burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
Oh God, a shish kebab. I'm sorry, Lieutenant.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
Oh, the handkerchief, thank you.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
You think that would help?
If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
But not you.
I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
Okay, but where do we get ammonia from?
There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't...
What are you pointing at the greenhouse for?
There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Okay. Good idea. Let's go talk to the gardener. She's already given me her gloves. Yeah, just good to get away from the body for a minute. How the hell are we going to get that down?
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Yeah, things are good. Things are good. My partner told me that you may have some ammonia, and I was wondering if I could have some, please.
Sure, I'm done with it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Okay, well thank you, and I will. Okay, so where did you say the shops were? Sorry, I was just wanting to...
Hello again, officer.
Yeah, just some
of course.
Directions.
Where to?
Where were the shops? Were they in the north? Oh, do you know what? Don't worry about it.
No problem.
Thank you. I have no money, so I can't buy any tablets to deal with the headache. Okay, let's go see if this ammonia helps with getting this body down. Right, what's this? Smells like spoiled meat and curdled dairy. A human being decomposes. Right.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Okay, let's try this again. Try and let go of my nose. Hope that the... Okay, +1 has ammonia. I still don't think this is going to help, to be honest.
You crack open the ammonia and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Okay, let's have a closer look.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Okay, let's have a closer look at that belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a harbor?
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, how did they even get him up here?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
Okay, he points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. Do you think they climbed up using that kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Okay. we're assuming the dock workers from the harbour did it?
The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
Look, Kim, don't judge me. My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life, and certainly not a briefing.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
Okay, I'll do that. Well, these guys sure wanted him to stay up there. That polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced.
Oh.
See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands.
Okay.
This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
Okay, let's see what else we can
The
see.
cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Let's have a look at the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
Yeah, they seem a little out of place.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Okay, Lieutenant, these aren't just boots, are they? They're armor.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
And what kind of armor is that exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Yeah, this material looks a bit out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
Lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about exactly?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Whoa! That's a lot, I take it?
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
Okay, what do you think happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll know something.
the redhead boy. Is it possible he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the armor?
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags.
Okay, then... Could they have told him to strip before they hung him, just to demean him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Good point.
Fucking talking about underpants.
I'm going to try and ignore that kid. How could this man afford... If this hardware is so expensive, how do you think this man could afford it?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Your initial reports?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
Yeah.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
Well, these look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Okay, I'm going to knock on the boot.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them, like the scales of some ancient white monster, cracked and pearly.
Okay, I'm going to try and pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Yeah, decomposing body. I might actually pull his leg off. No, I better not try that.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Okay, let's back off and look at the
cadaver
corpse.
slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Okay, Lieutenant. I need to take a minute. There's a few more things we need to look at, but right now, I'm just going to take a little break.